Hello, all. Welcome to Cricket Cousins Call. Today we have a pretty thin house, but we are hoping to cover a lot of topics for this week. Uh, the latest round for Cricket Roundup, where we are going to cover all the recent incidents that have happened around the cricketing world: Ben Stokes, Kane Williamson, India-Afghanistan series, etc., etc. And after that, we'll have a brief touch on Women's World Cup, and then we'll have a separate video for entire video reviewing the Women's World Cup. So starting off, let us kick off with Kane Williamson, the great, one of the modern greats, who called it a day after the first test. Was India England versus New Zealand. From the if you go by all the reports, it is supposed that he didn't want to come to the tour, but because for so many reasons, New Zealand cricket would convince him to come and play. But after playing one test, he said, "No, I don't think I'm giving my 100%." So he stopped playing. So yeah, what do you think? Is it what do you think Kane as the player, the time of retirement, and all of it?
I would say definitely one of the greats of the game. I mean, it was pure joy to watch the Fab Four, like because of how well he batted. Like we put him in the Fab Four over, in that time. Plus, there are some iconic knocks which he played over his career. One of which I remember is in 2019 World Cup against South Africa. I think New Zealand were 39 for 5 or something, like 69 or 39 for 5. And South Africa thought that they will take the game off. But Kane stood by and hit a phenomenal 102 or 119. And it was an innings to remember. And yeah, like, and not in only like in ODI, in T20 against Australia in 2021, in Test, he scored his highest Test score in 2020. I also remember fairly one in 2010. He hit 158 or something, 152 or something against India when New Zealand toured to India. That's where we started to hear what Kane Williamson can actually do. And yeah, he pretty phenomenal career coming to an end. So yeah, feel sad that we are not getting another 10,000 runs. So
Yeah, I'm actually fairly disappointed that I thought that was the last time we would see someone score 10,000 runs, but even that is now not happening, and we will not see that. I don't think we will see that any like ever, but yeah, who knows? Um, yeah, gutted that he is retired, but yeah, I think for us Indians, that IPL knock for SRH the whole year of 2018, where he was the orange cap holder for SRH, and he captained after all of that that was going around SRH and Warner, and still he stood strong and captained and batted them through to, I think, playoffs. So yeah.
The only as everybody's putting his turn on, but there are a few caveats around it where his average versus Australia is something people keep on pointing in tests where he didn't perform a lot, or he played really few test matches against Australia for him to have a record. As I'm saying, not every player gets to play everything and do, but whatever he has done, I think he's one of those old classical style of batters who was there. So in both ways, I think Kane Williamson, the test player, was great. ODI player was good, but T20, I don't know. I don't know if when it started he was good, but I think once the game took a higher gear, I don't think it was Kane's game anymore. And considering how technically astute and correct he was, he could never he can never match up to the current scoring rates that go around some major leagues. I'm not saying he cannot play T20 cricket. He can definitely play T20 cricket for uh, in the leagues where the scoring rates are still a bit normal. But currently, we are having T20 leagues where scoring rates are abnormal, where I don't think from the way he bats, it is a bit impossible. But maybe Kane will come out and prove everybody wrong by blasting a knock with 200 some league, and he'll be like, "See, I can do anything." So never you can never count out players like Kane because they are he is one of the special talents that this game has seen. Anything else on Kane and how was it? How was his retirement handled?
I think Simon Duel broke earlier than Kane broke it to the people that it's curtains for him. But yeah, I mean, not a great test match he had, like the last test match he had, which he played. And reason why he wanted to quit early. I think, I don't know, maybe some controversial talks or maybe, but I remember fairly like Kohli and Kane were having a conversation like after the
In the IPL.
yeah in the
Yeah.
IPL RCB versus LSG match, and they were having a pretty serious discussion. So maybe this is what they want. They were talking about like how maybe they are thinking that game has moved ahead of them, which is sad to see that it's not a good sign for us to say that like it has it did kind
Mm.
of.
Also, one good thing I feel happy about that at least he won the WTC. I mean, it was on us, it was against us, but at least I'm happy to see at least he won something with that New Zealand
One
team.
gold, one gold with
Yeah.
that New Zealand, and he was the captain of New Zealand's golden generation in a way. That generation had a lot of key players who went on to perform very well for not only New Zealand, but they are some really good stalwarts. If you get Tim Southey, Trent Bolt, uh, the
Guptill,
yeah, and
Guptill, Ross Taylor.
Gaptel, and even one player that we hate, Mr. Daryl Mitchell, who always scores against India. This this
yeah.
this podcast is a bit of biased against Mitchell. You keep on seeing us taking random digs at him, but yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Daryl Mitchell is one more player who like it's he was really part of that golden, and also Neil Wagner, like Neil Wagner, that the three Trakota of Neil Wagner, Tim Southey, and Trent Bolt,
Initial
uh, Nisham.
Three.
But yeah, but more about that pace battery, right? The way he used that
Yeah.
pace battery to get a lot more victories for New Zealand. That is something. And so that is what one thing, right? If a player feels he's not up to the mark, it is not board's place to force them. But these players being who they are, they will give you that push. But I think when a player puts up his hand and says they cannot, I don't think they have the mental capacity to do it. I think the good thing would be to take them at their word and let them go. Moving from one player issue to the other player, Mr. Ben Stokes, where the last case, if we think the board was doing something, but here I think both are at fault, both the board and the player, equally, or Ben Stokes a bit higher than the board because both just put curfews, which they know are foolish, but still they say, hey, we are the we are the board and we can enforce restrictions on 35-year-old people
yeah.
who who have a lot of professional experience and know how to behave, but still we believe in curfews and we believe in drinking. So that is where that is where it all started with Ben Stokes and all the incidents. Considering this is not even the first instance for Ben Stokes, right? This is the second or third
Fourth,
time
fourth.
or fourth time where he keeps on doing these things, considering what he has 20 years of professional career where you should be, if with 20 years of professional career, if you're still making these kind of foolish decisions, it I don't know what to call it. I get it, you won the game, you are under a lot of pressure after what has happened in Ashes and all of it, but it is you said you are the person who imposed that thing saying that hey, we are not going to drink, like then why did you go out, right? And what is the security guard, what is the point of having a security guard by ECB if he's not able to enforce the rules? Is it because Stokes he got a
And
pass?
and getting punched in that process.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I think Ben Stokes only came out in a podcast and said that As a captain, you get more privileges in the ECB thing, and you get different set of hotel room, all the luxury things and everything, and all those kind of stuff. So ECB has put themselves in that position at that time. Like you are uh, you go on and put blame on other people. Like, no, you are wrong. You are wrong. Kohli should not have went up to Sam Constas and said this and that. Bro, what are your players are doing? Your players are even worse, and also your legends as well. But like, okay, I agree. You want to party or you want to do anything. Do it on the off season. Why do you want to do it
No, do
during?
it in your bloody hotel. You could have done it in your hotel. There's no need for you to go out to a pub and stay there late after the curfew.
Not even pub, right?
Nobody
It
would
was a
have
late
cared.
night. It was a late night club. It was not
Yeah,
even a
yeah.
pub. So that is the difference, right? Going to a pub, like it's not that they went to a pub, the entire team went to a pub, enjoyed. Why couldn't you have gone back after it? Why did you have to go to one more club or a pub after the entire team has left? You could have simply gone back. I know you won the game, you won it well. You would have gone back and taken rest. And you could have gone next day as well. There is nobody
Pot-
stopping you.
Oh, you
If
could
you
have potentially won the second test, but now you are in the verge of losing the second test as well.
Yeah,
No,
and
also, no, also the problem is okay, whatever happened. After that Australia series, you should be accountable more. Like there were stories of Ben Duckett, there were stories of Harry Brook and everything. And you as a captain came and safeguarded them and then said that, we won't do this and we won't do that. And your Ashes was also pretty bad. You're not in that great form to even be like, I can book my slot in this team or anything. But
you're not in a great batting form. Bowling wise, he's been bowling well. So the
how
But
many
even
hours?
that, but even that, he breaks down too often than
but
he
whenever
goes.
so it's just an on-field performance, right? Whenever he bowled well. So that is where so bowling wise he performed well, but that is now again we are trying to so the bigger question is who is at blame, right? ECB. It's not even Ben Stokes, right? There are multiple. There's Ben Decay incident. There's Harry Brook incident. So is it if you are saying Ben Stokes is the issue and removed it, but considering the rap sheet that you have over past 1 year, 1.5 year, shouldn't even Brendan McCallum and Rob Key should also be looked at because
Yeah.
they keep on saying there is no issues with it. We don't have any issues, but you keep on time to time these keep on happening and these keep on coming up. So what will should there be a bigger review around it, or is it easier saying Ben Stokes is the issue and corning it off till Ben Stokes and both the top other two people saving their asses and saving their jobs?
No,
I
but
also hated why is Rob Keys coming out of like this thing and being like just after the incident he's like press conference time.
no,
Let's
it's not
see.
press conference, right? He's giving interviews. It's not
Yeah.
press conference. He's giving interviews to different publications, and that is being quoted as press conference. And every time he comes out, he's like, "Oh, initially he said no, there's no drinking culture. Now he says, oh, it's hard to deny." Bro, look at yourself, right? If you are not capable of doing it, resign. There's no and also, how long will this continue, right? So during the 2016-17, I forget when that incident happened with Stokes and Hales.
Yes.
You let go of Hales because you said that, oh, Hales, we are not getting worth from Hales because we have someone like a Roy and someone like a Butler who could open for us and get the same
Besto as
amount
well.
of Besto as well. So you let go of Hales saying that, okay, and you did not put any restrictions on Stokes at that point of time,
No, but I
right?
think he was removed
Now,
from vice captaincy. I think he was fired
but
from
is
vice
that a
captaincy.
bigger of a slap, is what I'm trying to say.
I
Now,
mean,
even if you let go of Stokes, there's still the culture is still there, right? You need to overview the problem is of the culture. The problem is not the players. something has to drastically change now for you to see some results out of this.
And
And I'm not sure if all of these three should continue, but I would be very unhappy if Stokes just says, "This is done, I'll retire," because that's the worst way to go out at this point of time.
Hmm.
also, like, I feel, why were you partying that hard just because that pitch was so shitty? And you guys were also lucky to get a victory over that thing. It wasn't that such a great victory. And if you want to drink, do it in a closed environment. Why do you want to go party hard in front of everyone where you are getting tangled with a rugby player? And then why do you need to do all those stuff? Also, uh, this is not the first time that it has happened with Stokes. This is a multiple occurrence with him. You made him captain. You put him above everything. You put him above the England cricket team and everything. You're seeing the results are not going with you at this moment. And I think Rob Key's statement was it that technically it should have gone to Harry Brook, the captaincy, but apparently he's not ready yet.
And that is why they give it to Root now.
What do you mean by he's not ready yet?
He's already captain in
No, it's again the
U20.
it's around the temperament, right? It's again around the
Yeah.
temperament and right and move, and it's also, I think there is something ECB should look, and all the all the things around the press, right? And also whatever what happens around English media. You either make a player hero or villain. Initially, everybody were, how could Stokes do it? But when stern decisions were taken, they are like, this couldn't be end of Stokes. I get Stokes played some great knocks for you, but he has enough rap sheet going on around. He he was the captain of the team. He was the role model a lot of people in that team looked up to. And they were willing to do anything for Ben Stokes, right? That all the entire of that squad, they were willing to, except for one or two players. And you had issues with those players, and you pushed them out. Except for one or two players who didn't follow the philosophy of Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum. Uh, any player who didn't follow the philosophy of Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum were pushed out, and everybody looks up to you. You cannot, when he does something, then you need to show that there will be consequences. It is not that he is, so that's why I don't get English press sometimes, where they're like, who initially you said something has to happen, but when you saw some stern decisions taking, you were like, that shouldn't be end of Ben Stokes. What do you mean that shouldn't be end of Ben Stokes? He has done enough things for him to quit cricket. It shouldn't be playing, winning one game shouldn't be his, like, okay, now I've won something, I can do whatever I want. That is something that they need to really stamp down on. And again, I don't want to. I have one more thing is Jafra Archer, right? You hounded him that he didn't play the first test. The moment he came and played the second test, who, who, how foolish are you to only go with four bowlers? Like, what is wrong with you? If you have gone with
He's,
four, if you have gone with
yeah.
four bowlers, then score 500. Don't give your bowlers. Blady, your bowler had to bat well for you to score 290.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
had all your batters out by 230. So you're 160 behind. If not for your bowler scoring that 50, you wouldn't have even had 290 onto the board.
Yeah. I mean, the game would have been done by today if not for that.
Yeah. So what is that planning? I know something has happened. So this is where I feel there is something with that English team and English culture. Brendan McCullum and Robke, they need to look at it. This shouldn't have been your playing 11 for this game. You shouldn't have, your overbalanced, you're overburdened. That is why reason you cannot. Jafra Archer is a asset. You cannot break him down. You cannot, on the day he comes back and plays red ball cricket, he cannot bowl 19 overs in a day. It is not his body. It is not it is not easy to ball on those flat pitches where it has nothing 19 overs. And considering all the climatic changes and the temperatures that are going up, around the world, it is not easy for fast bowlers to sustain in that heat and keep on bowling those many overs. So this is where they have some bigger issues. I'm not saying England is a really still a great team. They have really great players around that team, but they need to find a way to how to utilize these players, how to maximize these players, and use them well in a more disciplined and a passionate way, rather than simply going on around saying, "Hey, he's a good player." So this is where I think there is something that they need to look at overall.
Should I make a controversial statement?
Go ahead.
Like two controversial statements. First, they need to get inspired from English football team and hire a coach like Gareth Southgate to first settle things down. Like कि थोड़ा सा माहौल ठीक करते हैं, सब फ्रेंडली फ्रेंडली एवरीथिंग, एंड थोड़ा सा कल्चर लेके आते हैं एंड देन ब्रिंग इन
This was the culture, no? This was the baseball
Culture.
like culture
नहीं,
cult.
ये कल्ट वो बहुत खराब कल्ट बना है where the performance is not there, attitude is above. Like players are like, I am the best in the world, but when it comes to performance, none of them perform at the crucial moments. Harry Brook is a good talent, but he doesn't utilize
Emilio
his.
scored 250s back to back. I
Yeah,
mean, in 2 matches.
yeah. I like his style of like. First time looking at a English opener, I was like, wow, someone can play more than 70 balls in
In a
across
long
such
time.
a long time. So
And
yeah,
also Bethel, right? What are you expecting? You want him to play number three and want him to be your fifth bowler? How foolish are you? What do you think? People
He got you 3 wickets though. He got you those three. I think yeah, three only.
see it was
But yeah,
non-consequential wickets in second innings where there's nothing for you to do. See, he is fix his role. If you want him to be an all-rounder, move him down. You cannot expect not everybody is Joe Root with a golden arm. Do not think Joe Root is really a freak of a nature.
the
He
Joe Root also didn't use to bowl so many overs or so many things.
no, but in this 11, I think he is the highest wicket taker, highest catcher, highest run scorer. Everything he is on top.
and but still Stokes is your the player that everybody has to idealize. So
Because he was the person who won that Oval Test.
What?
Oval
In
Test
which he
and the World Cup as well. So
Headingley Test.
that World Cup was a scam. That is a scam victory. That is not a victory.
but
Yeah.
still he won you the World Cup. So credit where credit is due.
Anything else on England, or shall we move on to
Yeah.
another hint?
So now you're in a position of rather than winning the series, you are in a position of losing it. Everybody
Yeah.
thought England will win it 2-1, but now we are in a position of losing it 2-1. So it's whatever you sow, you reap. So so take a look at it, have a hard look at it. Your white ball team is doing good. Back to back, you are qualifying for semi-finals. I know 2023 World Cup was a disappointment, but T20 World Cups, you're back to back, you're qualifying for
Yeah.
semi-finals. And correcting that ODI game does not take a lot. With the current lot, I think in South Africa, Indian conditions were too alien for them to make anything to happen. But I think in South Africa, they'll definitely make it to semi-finals. I think white ball wise, it is fine, but I think the red ball team has to take a greater look and see what can be done, what changes can be made. If not, uh, the
And
it'll not be a great team to follow along.
see,
Yeah.
it took them what? How many years? Let me guess. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8 years to move on from the great Oli Pope and Zach Crawley and all those people. So
No, 5 years, I would believe.
yeah, whatever, five
But
years.
no, Pope a bit longer. Clary 5 years. I
Yeah,
think Pope a
Pope a
bit
bit
longer.
long.
But I think again the problem is right. Pope never batted three in his entire county cream, right? He was batting five or lower. How could you all of a sudden you? He's a great player, so that is where, right, you need to get players. Even with Bethel, the moment he hit 100, you thought, but after that 100, he's been a bit up and down, right? You need to see. I get. I'm not saying Bethel is a very phenomenal player, one of phenomenal player that they have, but is the three the right position for him, or
I mean,
if he
you
has
should never start three. You should always start down and then come up to three.
I
You should
mean,
start from five and then come up to three. So it is like now Brook should come up to three and give that five to uh, Bethel.
I
But
mean,
I'm not sure if Brook can play three.
also Jordan Cox doesn't bat so low in his county team.
no, I
He's
think
batting.
even Cox plays four and below, four or below. So you have a problem with three. If you think so, that is where, if you feel Bethel is your number three, let him only bat. Don't make him ball. Do
Ah,
not ask him to ball in the nets or in the game. Ask him to ask him to work on his batting first. Once his batting is foolproof, then because he balls, he can come in and ball. When I think in white ball series, you mandate him, he balls at least, if he whatever white ball game he balls 5 overs, 6 overs consistently. But in test matches, when it comes to test matches, playing with red ball, make sure that he only bats. That is when you can evolve that number three. Do not confuse his mind saying that, hey, you are an all-rounder and you'll bat at number three and you'll be rolling your arm. Do not confuse him with it. Make him a number three, make him only bat. Do not make him ball. That is my two
Okay,
cents on that.
I, I have a question now. I mean, Root is also in his last stages. So
no, I think he still has 2 years in him.
what do you
2 years.
last stages?
Okay. Yeah,
Can't
I mean,
like
2 years is, you never know with these players when they're burnt out. Root might come out after the series. Captaining, he'll be like, okay, I'm now burnt out. I don't think I can do anymore. There's that part
so
of it.
yeah. So he's also in his last stages, right? Who will bat number four?
Brook.
Who will
Bro,
bat five?
Five, you will get a Smith or Cox, someone to come at five.
Why not bring Brook Nalchi, who is Bethel down
No,
to four? Ask Root to play three.
Brook is the best batsman in that team. You can't. Brook has to play four. Your best batsman plays four.
The best batsman who doesn't even know what he is capable of, or the coach is incapable of making him realize what he is capable of.
He's scoring at 100 plus strike rate every match he plays. So
And throwing wicket like it is like a candy.
that that is up to the coach.
hmm, that I think it'll take time. I think he'll, once I think Roots and Stoke
I
are out,
mean, I
maybe.
want see the problem with him is I love seeing him bat, but it's so small stint that it irritates me.
But it's the same thing with Pant, right? Would you ask Pant to change his game? No.
I'm not asking him to change Brooks'
Mm,
game. I'm asking him to value his wicket.
So,
But
so
it's the same
I'm
thing.
saying, I'm going to say difference between Pant and Brook, right? You have a Gill for Pant to play the way Pant does.
Yeah.
You have a Rahul, you have a Gill, you have a Jadeja. You have three paddings for Pant to play Pant. But the problem with Brook is, if Brook plays the way Pant plays, who plays all the other roles? Problem is for them, Brook has to play the role Gill plays, or they need to say Brook is such a wonderful player, like he will play that role itself, then find a number four. Then maybe you do what Bhuvan said, right? You move because Joe Root is at the end of his career, say, hey man, I need you back to number three. You push him number three and you make Bethel your number four and make Bethel play longer innings. You will have to decide on how and where you need to do, because planning is important. You cannot simply go on this way and saying whatever works we'll see, whatever comes we'll take. That is not how it works. It takes time and patience to build test batters, and you'll have to work on it. So it's we'll have to see how will this go forward. Will Ben Stokes, what do you think, will Ben Stokes come back?
He, I believe he should. I don't know what apology amounts for you to come back, but yeah, I feel he should.
He will. England doesn't have a spine or a core to say no, so he will come back.
Uh, if you say I don't think Ben Stokes should come back, I think it is it is good for him. I think for his health and all of it. See, captaining this England team is not
Yeah.
easier. It is too hard. He has done it for 4 years, and I think it's time he call. If I am somebody advising Ben Stokes, I would say go away from cricket for 1 year. He has already done it before, and considering all the people around him, that would be my advice again to him. Go away for 1 year. Then, if you still feel that you have something in you, then try to come back and see. But for now, I
I
would say,
There hasn't been any statements from him, right?
No,
As of
he
now.
went to play domestic now
did
for
he?
England. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Okay.
news came out that he went to play domestic.
So if he went to play, he would play for Durham, right? I don't know if there are any active Durham games currently going on. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on to Australia versus Bangladesh. What is what the hell is wrong with Australia? How can you lose to Bangladesh?
And
And
why do
how good
you?
is that Bangladesh pace battery that they have decimated Australia altogether?
Do they
No,
have batting?
and I didn't get Matt Renshaw's comment right. I don't know. I read it somewhere. He said the revenge is taken. What do you mean the revenge is taken?
What
Full you.
revenge? What, winning two T20 games? And the second one you somehow just won it by
We
7 runs.
settled the score. We settled the score, Renshaw, after Australia 16. What do you mean you settled the
And
score? You
if
bloody
uh,
lost.
if Australia and Matt Renshaw are considering Bangladesh as a part of revenge, then the Australia team is in danger.
No, but seriously, this is a good Bangladesh team.
See,
They can go to semis.
I'm not denying it, but you are bloody Australia. You should not have that much की फर्क पड़ रहा है मेरे को किसी से.
But I heard some ex-cricketers saying that, oh, we did not have the our pace battery or this was not the 11. But it is not their fault, right? They are playing whatever Australia is put in front of them. And I would
Yeah.
believe this is what the batting lineup would be, with a few exceptions
Oh,
of Head
more
and
or less. Two players, Head and
two
Marsh.
players, Head and Marsh. That's all.
What?
So I don't see how can you not score at all. You were what, none for three at one point of time. I think twice. Two times you lost like 5 wickets under 20-30 runs. Last match you somehow bloody won. I was watching that match. I got so frustrated. I wanted Bangladesh to win somehow, take that 1 wicket. You somehow tumbled to that win. So,
And also, until when will that pace battery help them out?
exactly.
Everybody is 34, 35, except I think Hazelwood is 32 or
No, no, no.
No,
Cummins.
Cummins is
Cummins is
33,
32,
32
39.
or 33. Both Hazelwood and Stark are 35, 36. Or Stark is 37, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
How
So
long will that pace battery help?
I absolutely don't get it. And yeah, shout out to Liton Das for playing some incredible knocks. And there
Cooper
was some
Connolly. Cooper Connolly
Cooper
is,
only 100. Yeah.
yeah. But still, right? You have
And
to.
Hridoy. Hridoy scored a
No,
century
and
and
Mosaddaq Hussain, right? When Mosaddaq Hussain started
yeah, yeah.
finishing well, I think he played vital role for Bangladesh. A
Yes.
player who came back after, I don't know, initially he came, everybody thought he was a great talent. Somehow he vanished in between, and now again he's come back. And kudos to not only this is not the first time, right? It has been back to back couple of series where Bangladesh pace battery has been performing at that level.
Yeah, yeah.
The way they are bowling, right? It is. I know the speeds are a bit inflated by them, but still the accuracy and the intent with that base bowling unit is batting bowling, right? I think
Yeah.
there is something that they're doing that is an
Yeah.
inspiration for world cricket team. That is how you build, right? I think they put a lot of resources into it, a lot of resources into uh, building that kind of a. They always had one player, two player considering Mustafizur was not Mustafizur, Mushfiqur right.
Mustafi,
What
Mustafizur.
Mustafizur was bright point. Taskin Ahmad was one
Tas-
bright point.
Tascalum,
Yeah, they had
Lubis,
multiple. Yeah, but I think initially there was only one player, right? Their captain. Keep forgetting his name. Mortaza.
Murtaza.
Mortaza. Considering
Yeah,
from that, I think he was their first breakout fast bowling
yeah.
star of a kind. From that to where you are now, right? I think it is a really good place. I think something for Pakistan to learn from it. How do you nurture fast bowlers rather than them? हमें या 16 years 17
Right.
years का बॉलर मिल गया हम उसको भेज देंगे वो सब कर देगा and the
I mean,
moment
it's
he's
so good to see, right? They were only one-dimensional where it was just spin for them to win, and now it's a fresh pace battery that is now leading them to that win. I wish there was a test match also here, and they would have beaten Australia in the test match as well. But, yeah,
uh, no. I think
yeah,
it
and
there
also their under 19 has been performing consistently
yeah,
for quite a long time. So it's
yeah
like they are nurturing talents, they are making them like play well and everything. I would also say, like, sports and politics should never combine. And it happened this World Cup, and I hope it doesn't happen next time.
hoping now
Because,
Mr. Tamim Iqbal is in charge. Maybe he starts taking some rational decisions and
yeah,
yeah.
things start going. Things are starting to look positive for Bangladesh cricket, and I hope it is just a starting point and to go up and up because it is time considering how powerful the subcontinent teams were, right? With India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka dominating, with now the state that only we are having only one country. Nobody even takes care. Like you're not even sending your full strength teams. Like previously, teams would send their full strength teams to Pakistan or Sri Lanka. Now they're like, it's fine. We can send players who we want to test out or trial out to these.
yeah.
I don't want that because subcontinent is heart of cricketing game. That is where it has followed the most, and that is the home for cricketing world. So I don't want it to tamper down. And I'm happy to see Afghanistan, Bangladesh coming up with really strong teams and putting a challenge to teams.
And also, like, slowly, Sri Lanka is also building good team.
Yeah.
So Sri Lanka is also back. It's like somewhere they are also trying to come back. I don't know what Pakistan do at this moment. What they are thinking. What is that team for the? Uh, I'm sorry if I am moving ahead, but what is that team for that Asian Games and
I mean, the qualifications are not yet rolled out on how do we qualify for the Olympics. But it would be one of two routes of either Asian Games or Asia Cup, one of the two. I mean, those two make sense. So I think that is why India rolled out such a strong team for Asian Games. Surprisingly, Pakistan did not.
No, I think there
So,
are some new rules around Pakistan cricket. If I'm reading the media right or wrong, they want to have players perform at. They're saying players who are going to play T20 are not going to play tests. So then
oh,
there's a lot of overlap between players who are going to play tests and ODIs. So they might be not be part of. I think they want to separate it out. Players can only play T20s and ODIs or ODIs and tests. It seems there is some new. I don't know what they're coming up with in
is
their
there a new
minds.
president again?
It's the same. It's the same president, but they're coming up some foolish, wacky rules. The new central contracts. They're saying they're only going to announce players, but they're not going to categorize them. It seems so. They are coming up with some convoluted, compounded way of doing things, which I really don't know. You can make it. Why don't you make it as simple and straightforward? They're trying to do something around it where even the contracts now they're rolling out. Last year they cancelled out A category. There was no at A
Yeah.
category because players were not performing. I think why do you think our players foolish? They get a lot more if they play foreign leagues. If you cancel out your A category, why will they? What will be there for them to perform? Right at the end of the day, the life of an athlete is not everybody will get 15, 20 years. The best they can play is for 5 years. And in that, if you say somebody you pull out from their A category when they're playing well, what is the point of it for them to even play for the nation, right? It's not that everybody will get that 15, 20 year career. They might get 5, 6 year strong years. Even in that, if you say somebody you're going to, I'm not going to give A category because nobody deserves, that is not what it is. You evaluate on the squad that you have and you say, okay, these players are performing well, they'll be in my A category. These are best performing players, so they'll be in my A category. Or they'll be my highest paid category. Rather than that, now you have this convoluted process where you have gone across the world, amalgamated a lot of things, and now you have a new contract system where, like, a lot of countries are going to announce these players are only having contracts, and there's a lot of murky things going on around the team. And what the fuck is 95-day camp in Lahore? What are they going to do for 95 days? Is it a, I'm like, what is it? What is it going on, man?
This much Indian football team also don't get the 95-day camp.
What are you doing? 95-day camp. What is with that 95-day camp, right? Play, ask the invite teams to play with you. I get it. You don't want to play. If you don't want to play Zimbabwe, maybe play, maybe creating A
Afghanistan.
series, maybe Afghanistan, or maybe when your terms with Afghanistan is not good. Just a minute, I'll be back. Just
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
mean, we don't know like what happens to that Pakistan team. Like they always do something or the other, and sometimes they are like, uh, Shan Masood will captain, and then Shan Masood gets a lot of stick. Then they bring somebody else, and then sometimes they play flat track, then sometimes they will play in spinning track. That team doesn't make sense at this moment. They are not serious for the cricketing part as well.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that team has to again like England. They need to maybe invite England. The two chaotic teams can go against each other and see who comes out on top.
Harry
So
Brook will like make records
No, but
in a three-match test series. He will score 1,000 runs.
no.
That kind of record will be broken.
So yeah. So you need to relook at everything. I so they know that the I don't think they are seeing themselves going to 2028 Olympic World Cup because they know somehow ICC will do something and they'll only send India through. Everybody, like most of the people know, because the most eyeballs you have is from India, so that is going to
no,
anyway
but I
happen.
think that is why they want a global qualifier, something of that sort, so that they somehow put Pakistan as well, so that they get India-Pakistan matches, because that is the eyeballs.
See, the only thing in terms of cricket and in terms of if we actually want a better cricketing nation, like the how Pakistan used to be, they need money. And where would the money come and with the eyeballs come? With the Indian cricket team. So it's a long history of will they ever play together, a series or anything. When the money in cash will flow in, they will also feel like how much big the gap is. Like how Afghanistan is now seeing the gap between India and Afghanistan is quite high.
I'm
So
not. I mean, it's not that high. We played our A team, almost our A team, except for Bumrah. We played everyone. Bumrah and Virat were only not there, right?
Siraj,
I mean, fair
But I don't know.
enough.
Siraj will start. I don't think the Siraj will
Yeah,
start in ODI cricket
I
anymore.
I don't know. Like I heard rumors that Siraj and Shami will come back in the ODI
Yes.
setup.
Hmm. Maybe it may be back up to Bumrah, right? I don't think
yeah.
they'll be your automatic choices. I think they'll be might be back up to Bumrah. What if Bumrah doesn't make it to the World Cup? That might be contingency plan for it, but I think the way Indian team is going, they might go with Arshdeep over Siraj. Or if they're going with a three-man pace attack, then Siraj would be the third.
No, they even then it would be Harshit Rana because
Maybe.
he bats it.
Yeah.
Yeah, batting.
And and moving on from that to the new the World Cup announcement that has made ICC made I think it's 54 games this time if I'm not wrong. with Zimbabwe hosting 10 games, Namibia hosting 3 games or 4 games, and rest of the chunk going to South Africa,
South Africa.
where they're going to host 40 games across 8 venues. It'll be an interesting tournament. Foolishness of ICC wanting to get 3 India Park games, dividing everybody into two
Yeah, it is
groups.
so weird. Like, why a Super Six?
See, we are optimistic that Pakistan will qualify into Super Six and we will have more games. That team is a
Is it a single round robin? I hope it's a single round robin, the first one, and even the Super Six.
I don't know. I think it's single
it
round
will be
robin
single
itself.
round
I think
because
54
it's
games,
just
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 so like we are very optimistic that they will because just count out like which teams will like on paper and by the looks of it until now you
Four
will say
four teams, right? For me, India, Australia, South Africa, and England will definitely make into Super Six. And two more teams that who would make in Super Six would be the question.
New Zealand won.
Okay.
And then you have to decide which Asian team will come qualify.
But does New Zealand have the bowling? So this is where I'm worried. Does New Zealand have the bowling to make it through? Or maybe in the South African pitches, their bowlers might have a bit of an edge.
Like you will have Duffy, Jamieson, Henry, uh, Willow Rook,
Mm.
and one more is there. I'm forgetting his name.
Nathan
Fox.
Smith. Nathan Smith.
Nathan Smith.
Yeah,
Nathan
Nathan
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe on that South African pitches, they might be. It depends if they play more of their games out. If they play in Zimbabwe or Namibia, then we don't know. But if they play a lot of games in South Africa, then they
Oh,
have
there
a.
are 14 teams, right?
Yeah.
So,
Also, you count out West
okay, so
Indies.
West Indies will qualify. No, I thought would West Indies qualify or not
Yeah.
initially, but yeah, with 14 teams, I think they will qualify.
Also, we
Yeah.
can't underestimate that West Indies team. They can surprise.
No, but 3 teams are for certain going through, which is Zimbabwe, South
Oh,
Africa, Namibia,
yeah.
hosts, and India and Australia are certain.
England is also
England
certain.
is
England, New
doubtful.
Zealand.
No, England is
England is
doubtful.
doubtful. England is at
England is at
seventh or
seventh
eighth
or eighth position.
position.
No matter what, they will come through.
It's
I
with
don't.
the ranking. Again.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think
it'll be interesting.
I
But yeah, I think all of the likely ones will of course go through.
no I doubt about Australia as well this time because they don't have batting man.
No, but as in qualification we are talking about. I'm not talking about
Hmm.
Super Sixes or going to the
Thing
No,
semis.
is,
I'm talking about Super Sixes. Like, will they qualify for Super Sixes?
yeah, they will.
They
I
should.
Yeah. The pace battery, they have enough pace battery on that South African soil to push them through.
See, we don't know. Like just before this, they will play Ashes, and of course
No,
they
they
won't.
will play BGT and after. Oh no,
Now,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no,
They'll play
Ashes.
Ashes. Yeah,
They
they'll
will
play
play
Ashes.
Ashes. After Ashes, of course, no, none of them will play IPL, so they will get rest.
No, I think
But
it is BGT, IPL, and then Ashes. I
Ashes
think
and
that is
then
the
World
order.
Cup.
Then World Cup.
yeah, BGT Ashes and then World Cup. Right? BGT Ashes.
BGT,
BGD, IPL,
IPL,
Ashes, and World Cup.
Ashes, World Cup.
Okay. So in BGT, suppose in BGT, hope it doesn't happen. But if one of them gets injured or if they don't consider like their body and they are just bowling through continuously,
But with
it's
BGT,
hard
they
for them
don't
to
need to play
recover.
all the three of them, right? They can only play two. There's no need for them to play
Also,
all
IPL,
three.
I don't think they'll play. I'm not sure if they'll play the IPL.
Yeah.
They might take that 2 year ban, but they won't play IPL.
What 2 year
No,
man? Who has left 2 years in them?
no, I think
Apart from
if you pull, I think if it is after the auction, if you pull out, I think before itself you pull out, I think it should be
yeah,
Ah,
fine.
before you can pull out, like before the season starts or
yeah, so
anything.
I think they will.
Yeah, yeah, maybe they might not come. They might so IPL might be Ashes. I think the way it is, I think they might not be available for entire IPL. Might play only few games on the IPL.
Yeah.
Maybe considering they might not have a lot of workload, right? Between three of them, I think the fighter series. I think they'll only play two or three games between three of them. That is what I think. They might not play all five
The BGT you're on
in
about.
the BGT. So when people are saying, I don't see all three of them playing all five tests in India. If still you want to rely on all five of them for all three tests in India, I'm like, I don't know what
But
what.
that's the only likely scenario they have a chance, right? Else they don't even have a chance.
No, but I don't think on Indian pitches you require three pace bowlers of that caliber, right? What is the point of playing all three of them if you're not going to get anything out of them?
Or like you can just be like you play all three, like all three will play three tests together, and if
If
we
you get wins, you get wins. Else
yeah,
you rest.
Maybe.
and
Yeah.
one will sit like one or two will sit out. Like who else does the ball? Like Spencer Johnson,
No, they might bring in
Guy Richardson,
No, no. Scott
Bolin.
Boland will come in.
Boland. Yeah, Boland will come.
Bro, he is also 36.
They don't have anyone for them to even bring.
Nathan Ellis.
No, I
These
don't. Nathan
people,
Hill is a test bowler.
Yeah.
There is
they will
Abbott. They'll bring in Sean
they
Abbott.
don't have bowlers.
Yeah. So it is so yeah. No, moving on. Like moving on from there to India Afghanistan series where India clearly dominated and won. And I think we need to mention Gill, the captain. I think I somehow feel, even after this series, I somehow feel Gambhir can be a good white ball coach than a red ball coach. I think I loved the way they did the distribution in the ODI games, right? The way they played the players. I think,
Everyone. Yeah.
yeah, everybody giving them likely chances. I think that is where I think. So this is where I somehow believe Gambhir is a good white ball coach, and then and a bad, very bad, and and it can people can say, does the Indian white ball team even require a coach? It only requires somebody who can manage. Maybe he's good at it. He's something with that. I think he can make a really good white ball coach than the red ball coach. I think India need to relook at it. Even though I get India won against Afghanistan, but I would still say there is something, right. The way he distributed the players in this Afghanistan series, I loved it. The first time I'm saying about some positive about Gambhir, and I say I loved it. I think I loved the way the distribution was done for many reasons, giving YBJ two games, playing Rohit all the games because he's playing only one format. Anyway, your captain has to play, giving Iyer all three
Okay.
games. And even Washi, right? Building up Washi. You require Washi. If Jadeja's fitness is iffy, you definitely require Washi, right? He has to play that Jadeja role for you. If he doesn't play, then there is there is nobody you can do it, right? So that is where I feel and I believe that this the I loved what they have done with the ODI team in Afghanistan with Afghanistan.
Yeah, I mean, also we can say like the new people who got the chance, they took the chance this time very nicely.
Hmm.
Especially
Three debutants
Gurnur
across.
Brar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like how Gurnur Brar started bowling and how he was taking a look at it, and his height has helped in a way.
Yeah.
And how Prasid has been bowling this match. Why can't he bowl like this? Like he was perfectly taking advantage of his height, the pitch, and everything. Why can't you bloody do the same thing always? So yeah, that is
Yeah.
one of my thing. And both Manav Sutar and Harsh Dubey really bowled well. So overall, it's a good look for in future aspect. Like we are developing bowlers. I am happy that finally the person who always used to criticize that we don't make fast bowlers, we don't make fast bowlers, we finally did. We are developing fast bowlers. We are giving them chances. So yeah, in that way.
Yeah, I think in that way, I think it's a good series for we have found three debutants. I don't know how far they'll go, but I think it is a good place to start for all three of them. In a way, I really think that they can go places, and I feel the World Cup squad is coming together. I think there'll be one, two changes.
Still
Virat will,
coming back, scoring a century, that is something
yeah.
in that. Everyone is in good form, and yeah,
Mm.
I think KL denied Gill another century, else he would have had two in this series. Uh, yeah, it was in terms of batting, there are no flaws. Absolutely, it was.
Yeah, and raise of Gill, the captain, I think he somehow caught to the role really well. I think he's performing well. I feel he's doing well. He's somehow enjoying the role of captaincy and batting well. People might say those are flat tracks and everything, but he is performing. He is now you're not really trying to nitpick things around him, but I really feel he's doing well as a captain. I think slowly I was one of the first people. I thought I didn't think Gill would have such a great batting and captaincy together. I thought he's a great batter, but I never thought his captaincy would evolve, but slowly it's evolving. I hope as going forward he takes more of a center stage than what GG does, even with the test team, and it'll look more like him making those calls.
Also, like one last thing. I think if we are looking forward with Washi and that position, he needs to understand how to bat with the lower order. He
No,
needs
also
to.
score fast, right? Like my only problem with that second ODI was you scored around 320 at 37 overs, and then you somehow just stumbled to 400 after the 50 overs. So only because that middle or lower middle order of all rounders is somewhat has to come good. That's all. Like something has to happen. Maybe Hardik coming in might help, but yeah.
Yeah, but also like if we are genuinely looking at Washi at that position, then he needs to look at how to bat around. Like he needs to have a conversation with people who have played that position, like someone like Jadeja or someone like Ashwin, or if we are going for batters, like go have a conversation with Aksar, go have a conversation with Hardik, like how they improved in that position. So, not giving like bowlers that many balls, and you playing as much balls as you can, and delivering what is needed from you.
I think Washi might be your permanent number 6, 7 in across the formats. So that's what it is. I think for me, I I'm a Washington Sundar believer. I believe the way he's such a I think he reminds me of the old Indian players, right? A utility player where like a Sehwag or a Yuvraj, where you can he where on his days he can ball you 8, 9 overs and he can be a solid bat. But I think he has to evolve a bit more. He has to understand places where he's playing, and even the team should not confusing anymore, right? The team should say, okay, this is your role. They need to define it. This is where you are going to be. This is how across the formats, this is how we want to use it, and put him into that positions rather than playing around with his brain, sometimes moving him up and down and all of it. Say this is what we are looking from you, this is what you're going to do, and continue him. And then I think there'll be far more results from him. That is where, and latest and hottest from IPL news that we might be seeing somebody going back to Delhi and somebody coming to UP. From whatever we understand and whatever is going on around, Pant will take a haircut of 12 crores and go back to Delhi for 15. And Delhi are going to trade Kuldeep Yadav to UP. I don't know why Delhi does it. All the foolish things they do.
We will cover this properly next week when we will maybe
Hopefully have a full house.
hopefully have
Yeah,
a full house.
full
We'll
house.
cover it full, and we will get more clarity if the other IPL trade-off will happen or not between Hardik and Jaiswal. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. Do watch every video of us, and you will get to know what we bring.
Yeah. Yeah. And I ask you to like, share, subscribe our channel. Howzzat Cuz. Thank you. We'll be back with one more cricket latest roundup next week or the week after.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.